Hey guys, this is Jen Kinkade, Garden Girl with Two Peas in a Bucket, with another Scrap Your Stash video. This week I'm going to be talking about using metal embellishments along with some Two Peas in a Bucket exclusives and digital cuts. First we'll start off. I have some of these holiday cuts, the All is Calm, All is Bright words, as well as the stars that come in that same cut file. I cut them out with some glitter paper that I had in my stash as well. Next I'm going to be showing you some of the printables that I just put some of them singly and printed them out. I have some white cardstock, and I'm using some pattern paper from Cardabella, the Hello Again collection, and the Wildflower collection. Next, these are some wood veneer stars from Studio Calico in the print shop, washi tape, Two Peas in a Bucket paper clips, gold stars, and some of their exclusive metal flair. Now I'm going to be incorporating some other metal embellishments, some of these numbered trinkets from Prima. And I also have some other brads from Prima, the Jubilee Christmas brads, and then some Anna Maria metal brads that I just thought would work well. These are basic gray star embellishments and October Afternoon designer brads. So I've gotten started here. I'm going to gather my papers and using the white cardstock. I always like to put a piece of pattern cardstock behind my white paper because it not only helps to give it some added strength if you're layering or adding some mixed media supplies to your page, but also frames your layout and gives it a nice border. So I'm adhering that just so the border is showing how I want it to. Adhere that down, and I'm going to add the strip of watercolor type paper from the Hello Again collection. It's gonna be kind of the main area where I add all of my embellishments for this. Now let's start building our page. So I have my background ready, and I'm going to gather my photos and place them there on that middle strip of paper that I added. I'm going to add the photos right pretty much in the middle of that strip. Kind of had an idea how I wanted to have things laid out, with the stars accenting the main parts of my page. I guess really without realizing it, I, along with the metal embellishments and these digital die cuts, that I was using stars as one of my main embellishments for this page too. So I guess you could say you can use up your stash of stars in this video as well. So I wanted to use each phrase, all is calm, all is bright, to not only be the title and the theme of this page, but to also complement each picture that I had. This angel ornament to something special to our family that we received one year for Christmas, and so that's the calm aspect, and then the all is bright for the tree all lit up there. We really enjoy sitting around in the evenings and looking at our tree and the decorations. So now I'm starting to adhere things because I pretty much know where I want everything to go. And that star is with some charcoal glitter paper, and then the other is some gold paper. And what I did there for that background star for the black is I actually was able to take my silhouette and remove those open parts so it could be a solid, almost shadowing for the other star. And right now I'm lightly tacking down the all is bright phrase with some adhesive. And I'll probably go back later with my glue gun or my machine and stitch it down. And I'm doing the same here with this other star that I created, tacking it down exactly where I want it to go. Just because I don't want things to be moving around now that I'm pretty sure of the overall design, and I want to keep things where they need to be, especially since these phrases are rather delicate. I don't want to tear them. So now we have everything placed where it should go. And I'm going to take this 1-inch circle punch and I'm going to punch out some of these printables and use a few of them on my layout. I'm not exactly sure which ones I'm going to use, but I just want to have them punched out and ready to go whenever I want to put them down. And the 1-inch circle punch is perfect to punch out some of these 2 peas in a bucket printables. And so now I have this tag printable by Marcy Penner. And as you've seen before, Marcy has had some printables available in the 2 peas in a bucket digital section of the shop. And that's where this tag is from. And the tag just kind of balances the rest of the design. And we're going to get ready to start adding some of these metal embellishments that I showed you before. I've got my wood veneer stars in a little bowl here, so I can easily grab those and add those to the page as I need to. And I just decided I'm going to tack that tag down just so it doesn't slip anywhere while I'm working on the page. Okay, now we're ready to go. I'm going to open up, first of all, some of these brads, and I'm going to work with the Prima brads, the Christmas brads, the Jubilee, to add. And at first when I started deciding what brads would go on my page, I just wasn't sure. I knew I wanted to add clusters here and there using some of the metal flair, the exclusive flair from 2 peas in a bucket. And that's kind of what I do. I just kind of place things somewhere. If it works, then I'll keep it. If not, I can move it somewhere else. And sometimes I will use a foam pop dot to add these metal flair to my pages, or sometimes I will just use my glue gun depending on how I want it to pop off the page or if I want it to be more flat. So I'm going to take a little nest of thread, just wrapped it around my fingers a few times, and place it right there on that gold star, using my glue gun to add a little dot of glue. So you can add that and then immediately add that Merry and Bright flair right over it. Now I'm grabbing some of the star flair. I'm going to add it right to the bottom of the All is Bright phrase, using hot glue once again to secure it down. And then I just decided to use my hot glue gun to secure this phrase down just a little bit more. I think I had decided not to machine stitch through it, and so that's why I'm using my glue gun to secure it all down. Wellna has taught me that it's very handy to have your glue gun around to put any of your embellishments down, so I would say that is a wise investment to have as a scrapbooker and a crafter. So now I'm taking this gold airmail washi tape, I believe it is by Freckled Fawn, and I'm using it to accent the upper left and bottom right of that strip of paper right in the middle of my page. I just thought it added a nice extra gold touch. Now I'm going to start adding some of those wood veneer stars by Studio Calico. Again, just placing them here and there, using my glue gun to attach them. Obviously, you can also use some sort of tacky glue or glossy accents, whatever you have on hand and what you feel works best for you. So now I'm going to grab a few of these little brads from Prima and just kind of use my scissors to punch a little hole so I can get through, since I'm basically working through 3 different layers of paper. You need some scissors or an awl or a punch to get through all those layers of paper in order to get that brad through. So there's one way you can embellish with a metal embellishment there, just creating a cluster, and I'm flipping that over just to make sure the prongs are spread out and through the page exactly how I want them to be. I have to twist it around a little bit to get it where I want it. And that background pattern paper was perfect for me to use since I don't do Project Life. You see there were cards on the back of that pattern paper. So I just decided to use it as the border since I knew I would never use those as cards in Project Life or anything. So now I'm going to pick out another little brad, and I'm going to put this one right at the top of the tag as a nice little embellishment. And you just need to be careful when you're using your scissors or an awl like that to poke a hole through the page, not to poke your finger as you're guiding it through on the other side. Because I have done that before and it does hurt and it can draw blood, so just be careful. Or as I'll show you here in a little bit, if you have a very small hole punch, you can use that as well. It's much safer. So I'm speeding this up because all I'm doing is I'm picking out little brads here and there and deciding where I'm going to place them on the page. And sometimes I know right away where I want to put it, and sometimes I kind of go back and forth. And so I'm just adding little bits and pieces here and there, flipping it over so the prongs and the brads stay in place. And I'm going to cut out another one of my printables and add to the top of my page. This is also one of Marcy Penner's printables that you can find in the 2 Peas in a Bucket digital shop. Just a little tab that has stars on it once again, and add it there for some extra interest and direction to direct the eye down to my page. Now I'm going to break into some of the October Afternoon Christmas brads. And I have this one with 2 brads in it because it's actually a little label, and I can pop those brads out real quick and use the holes from that label to mark on my page where to punch the holes, so it's more precise and they don't go in wonky. That way you can just place those right in the hole and push them through on the other side. Pretty easy. You see I continue to add little metal embellishments here and there. I'm adding one of the gold star clips from 2 Peas in a Bucket once I decide exactly how I want it to go on there and how to get it to fit. And then the opening of that is just the perfect size for me to add another small brad from October Afternoon right there. It's just a perfect fit. And what you see me doing here is, instead of poking a hole through there, because I was a little bit worried with the paper clip if I would be able to do that, is I took my wire snips and actually cut the prongs off and use hot glue to adhere that right there. That's another option when you're attaching brads. You don't have to use the prongs to put through paper. Sometimes I do that just because I don't want to mess with putting it through the paper. So I snip the wire prongs off and I use glue to apply that. Now I'm adding some of those stars from Basic Gray, and I'm taking this gold leafing pen so the stars actually match the gold paper a little bit better, because these stars are actually kind of more bronze, and that's just an easy way to change the color and make it match the page a little bit better. And so now I'm opening up these number trinkets also from Prima. There's a nice variety of sizes, smaller ones, larger ones that you can add. And I'm just going to dump them out here on my desk and sort through them and try to figure out exactly how I want to use them. And also the packaging is pretty neat. I thought I'll save that and maybe be able to use that for something else. So I know I want to use that 25 just to mark Christmas. Add that with some hot glue right there on that star. And I thought about adding some random numbers almost to make it look like a countdown there at the top and bottom, but then ultimately I just decided not to because I thought it seemed too random and there wasn't real purpose to it. So I just decided to take those off and use them for another project some other time. I'm just going to add maybe another veneer star here and there on my page. I thought about layering it with the silhouette cut, but then I decided it just looked better down there by my photo and that other metal flare. And other than some stitching and type journaling that I'm going to add, this is my finished page. So I challenge you to dive into your metal embellishment stash, use some 2 peas in a bucket exclusives and printables, and don't forget to load your project up to the 2 peas in a bucket gallery. Thanks for watching!